Hey guys, Ian Binek back with another YouTube video. And in this video, we're going to be finishing up our email sequence campaign that we are creating for our client. Now, we already had a video in the past where we pulled the list of leads from ListKit and then we placed them in Clay and we enriched them. And then we also just created the shell of the Smart Lead campaign. But for this video, we are going to be actually walking through some sequence copy and getting your sequence up and running. So without further ado, let's dive right in. So as you can see, we are on our Smart Lead manager here. And like I said before, just to quickly reiterate, we've already created this table that has custom enrichments that has been synced with our Smart Lead accounts. So there's about 1,300 rows in here, which means there's about 1,300 leads. So we've already written the copy, but I'm going to be walking through kind of the logic behind why we say certain things at certain times in our messages. But first, um, let's actually walk through and create this together. So I want to kind of walk through exactly how this editor works. And so I have the copy here, so I'm just going to go grab it and place it in here, and then I will go back through and update things. So this is email one, and that's what I'm doing. I'm grabbing email one right now, coming back, and I'm going to hit paste. Great. Okay, so it's in here. Obviously, it's not formatted exactly as we'd like, and it's not referencing the right inputs. So we have to go change these to the right variables, aka first name. Great. And one small thing to realize is whenever you are making these emails and you put in a merge tag or a variable, there's usually a space that comes in right after it. And so it's good to delete that space. Otherwise, it does look like you're sending a spam email to people. Now, the AI generated first sentence, this is like an example. I just put this in here so that we could read this together, but the AI generated first sentence is coming from the clay table right here, which is right, it's this column. So it's saying something like, I checked out Eisenhower and would love to connect, or something like that. Or it's saying, I noticed on your LinkedIn profile, it seems like you're responsible for IT infrastructure, engineering, and management. So like it's either using AI or it's just using a canned response because we couldn't grab the enriched part of their profile. So anyway, going back in here, we're just going to edit this. So I'm going to remove this. Um, Here we go. Okay, perfect. So this sentence we're removing because we already have it right here. And we'll confirm that these have loaded correctly in a minute, and I'll show you how. We'll do a space, and then I want to make sure that this company name is correct. So I'm just going to change this to company name. Boom. Again, there's this extra space that was added, so we want to remove that. Now you're going to notice something here that's not a variable. It's actually called spin tax. And so it says, so here's the deal. And then there's this little bracket. It looks like an L, but it's a bracket. It's like one of these things, or like it's like one of these. Oops. Oh my goodness. So that bracket initiates if you're in a curly queue like this and you put a bracket in here, then that initiates telling Smartlead, hey, I want to cycle these two variations in my emails to help make my emails look a little different. The reason for that is really because you don't want the ESP to, or the ISP, I guess, you don't want it to recognize that you're sending a lot of emails, right? Even if you have a lot of email accounts in here, like for this client, we have about 15 emails. We don't want to be marked as spam unnecessarily. And so we use this thing called spin tax. And generally, it's a best practice to use it at least like 2 to 3 times in each one of your emails. So you'll notice that I have a few variations in this email because of it. So as you just like kind of before we keep going forward and like updating this email, I want to kind of talk through the strategy here. So one, we're saying hi first name, great, personalized, whatever. AI generated first sentence. This is really good. This is going to not only again keep all of our emails relatively different because we're using AI to generate that first sentence. So all of our emails will look and read a little different, but also it's personalized. So it's saying, hey, we looked at your LinkedIn, we noticed you did this. Like, if someone might not realize that you can use like no code and automation and AI to write a sentence like that, and therefore they may feel like this is a real person that's sending the email, like a BDR or an SDR, which is still a thing that happens today. It's not really common, I would say, for everyone to be doing this sort of approach. Now, and then at this point, we're just saying like, hey, I'm reaching out because, and then this is like the offer. So we're basically saying like, hey, we help maintain we help tech leads at companies like, and then we put the company name, maintain job security and sleep easy at night with strategic oversight over your cybersecurity initiatives. So we can make the offer a little bit better, but this is the offer we're going to start with. We haven't run any cold email for this client before, so we want to just kind of get our feet wet and get an understanding of like what the reply rate's going to be. So again, whenever you're doing cold outbound, and especially in like a personalized automated sense, then you're going to want to use demand gen offers and not demand capture offers. If you don't know what those are, be sure to check out there's like more YouTube videos, and there's also just content that I publish regularly that talk about the difference between demand capture and demand gen. In short, demand capture is like, we are a website agency, like what, get a website built for your business. And then the opposite would um, be proud of your brand and love the way that your customers interact with your brand within a completely enhanced new website that's built to last the test of time. Like, that would be a demand gen offer. Hopefully that makes sense. I'll go more into that in the future. But anyway, so we are finishing up just editing this. Again, we have the company name in here again. Let's just make sure that this is the correct variable. Excuse me. Okay. All right, cool. So, and then it says down here, just another version of spin tax. I'm just like, if it turns out you're not your jam, great. We'll just evaporate. Like, don't worry about us. Which is always good to give a cop out in cold email, because people kind of assume that cold email is like spam. So we don't want, people to feel like they're trapped or anything like that. Like, they can get out easily if they just respond to the email, right? Real quick, just so you know, the best way to get responses, honestly, from cold email is to maintain high deliverability, which is include no links, differentiate your emails enough using like AI, like I just talked about, um, as well as saying, hey, here's the demand gen offer. Do you want me to send a Loom video for you that I can film on how I think our team can help? So it's personalized, and they're going to get a personalized Loom video as a result. So that is honestly like what we've seen to be the best. And I don't know if you saw at the beginning of the video, we have like campaigns that get like 2% response rate, which is really good. Like, that's like 5 to 6 times better than a lot of the industry averages. So again, like, kind of know what we're talking about. At least we just started doing this, but obviously, like, we've seen success from it. So just kind of sharing that success with other people. Quick tip too: if you want to type underneath the signature, just put like percentage sign signature percentage sign and add a PS. That's always really good for at least the first email in the sequence. And at this point, we are just like calling out like, hey, if this isn't a priority, just let us know. We'll make a note. Again, just getting that reply is nice. It'll automatically basically unsubscribe them from the sequence, but also it like helps boost our authority with the ISP and the ESP. We don't want to ever put like a, remove me from this list at the bottom of our emails, because it just makes us look like bots and spam, and we're not trying to give ourselves up like that. And then last too, I like to include quotes, and I think this is a great usage of spin tags as well. You can just include like 3 or so quotes down here, and that is going to help again differentiate your emails. So for all intents and purposes, this email is almost done. We just want to say, I think this is like a really good email opener, or an email, yeah, just email opener, and it's first name strategy, and that's it, because we want to make it look like they're getting an email from someone internally. And because we're not including links, and because our emails are differentiated enough, and because we're warming our emails up and we're using Smartlead to help make sure that our emails land in the inbox, it's almost certainly going to be opened. Like, I don't know about you, but if I get an email in my inbox and it just says like Ian strategy, or it says like quick question, or it says anything that like it's more of a risk for me not to open it and just see what it says than it is for me to delete it, then that's what we're going for here, right? So this is the first email, and we'll let save changes real quick. Um, I will walk through the other emails here in a second, but let me just quickly say there's two things you could do here. Um, we're going to add another email. We're going to say 7 days. And I'm not going to do this email probably on this video. I'll just finish it up afterwards. But I want to save changes. And then I want to walk through two other things. So next is the setup, right? Like, who are we sending um, these emails from? And so the best way we could do that is to just click in here and then choose our clients' emails. So I'm going to choose all of our clients' emails here, which, this is our clients. Great. And then we'll save emails and then schedule campaign. So we're going to schedule this for EST. Oh my goodness. Eastern. Okay. New York, whatever. Okay. And we're only going to run it Monday through Friday. We're going to send an email every 10 minutes from 9 to, what is this, like 6 or something? 9 to 6. And it's really nice too, again, to enhance deliverability. Smart Lead adds this like 30 to 60-second variance trigger. So it's not every 10 minutes. It's really just like every like 9 or every 11. So that way it like is different and the ESP or ISP doesn't get smart. Set the campaign start date. We will start these next week. We need to warm our emails up for 2 weeks. They've only been warming for a week. I'll show you. You can actually see the progress of your emails in case you're curious. Um, and then the number of leads reached out to per day, I'll just say like 400. We have like 15. Actually, let me do some quick math. So if we have like 15 emails sending 30, yeah, it's 450. Okay, so I'll just say 450 emails per day. Great. Save. And the math I was doing there was that we had 15 emails, and each email I'm comfortable sending 30 emails a day from. That's the math, basically. Cool. All right, so now it'll be time to go to final review. This is where I talked about where I want to make sure that this is right. So as you can see, and I kind of did this on purpose, obviously, I wanted to like show you. But when you go through to check these, you want to make sure that none of your variables are coming through as the wrong thing. And so like our company name's fine, person's name is fine, AI generated sentence is definitely not right, right? This quick note is the signature will show up um, uh, by default. So this is like not this isn't a problem. As you can see, it's only grabbed from one of our quotes, not all three of them. So that's good. And so yeah, you want to check your spin tags, you want to check your variables, right? Okay. So obviously, let's go back and fix this. I didn't catch this because I marked it as a variable already. But we want to come in here and we want to go down here and we want to say AI generated for sentence. Now we'll hit save changes and we'll go back to final review. And this should be different now. So it says, great. Hi, Carl. I checked out City of San Marcos. I would love to connect. So we may want to like update this a little bit because that's a little weird. But we are doing some government agencies in this campaign, and that's why that happened. But maybe like, ooh, like Signature Performance Inc. So actually, if we're seeing this, let me actually check something real quick. Are we using the right company name? Because I don't want this like Inc, right? Like, is there any? I think there's like a formatted company name. All right, so we want formatted company name. We don't want these other ones because see how this one says signature performance, it doesn't say Inc. That's great, right? So how do we fix that? Well, I'm really glad that this happened to us so I can show you. So to fix this, we just need to come back in here and we need to change the company name to be the formatted company name, which we saw right here. Boom. Now, this is going to take like uh, a while because it's going to need to run for every single person. But as you can see, it's going to basically run. And now these are queued and some of these are going to be updated and it's going to take time. So we'll see this updating thing down here. While this is updating, perhaps I can just go back and show you a couple more things about Smart Lead, and then we'll finish up. So, at least for like the other campaigns, oops, for the other, sorry, let me go back into the campaign. The other emails that we're going to be sending, right? We're going to want to make sure that the second email includes some sort of lead magnet. And the best way to do that is to use some sort of lead magnet that invokes some sort of fear. So we would create an email that says something around the lines of like, "Hey, realized, just checking in." Uh, Actually, let me just share exactly what we have so that we can give you the most value here. So I'll just copy and paste this in here. Second email, boom, paste. I'm not going to format it because that takes a while, but I'll just walk through exactly like what it says. It says something like, "Hey, we're just checking in. Any answers about my last email? Well, I'm excited to keep the conversation going and share some ideas with you. I understand if the timing isn't right. Can I share a report I just finished? It's about some of the most valuable things we've learned after helping other companies with their cybersecurity initiatives. It's called," and then report name. You could say something like, "The seven deadly sins CISOs and heads of technology make, one mistake away from catastrophe inside of their orgs." That way it invokes some sort of like, wow, like what are those sins? Like what is the problem that is being talked about here? How can I avoid that? So that's like email two. And then the last email we like to do, let's just throw this in here real quick. There's the 7 days. Again, I like to use 7 days because it does take us a while to get through all 1,300 leads for each part of the sequence. So it's kind of easier to just do it by week. So if we're sending about 450 or 400 emails a day, then by the end of the week, we should be getting ready to move on to the next part of the sequence, if that makes sense. Third part of the email, these are the kinds of emails that we call breakup emails. And essentially, it's just like, "Hey, can you give us some feedback? Like, we're not going to be reaching out anymore. Can you give us some feedback?" So we'll say something like, "Hey, I'm guessing that at this point you aren't stressed in the slightest with your environment or not likely to identify vulnerabilities before hackers do for your company. Could you let me know which of these three resonate with you right now? You're already working with a vendor. We already have a tight grip on our cybersecurity initiatives," basically saying like we don't need your help, or "Oh crap, I missed this. Can you send a loom?" And that's it. And so we would do that, and we would be able to essentially uh, send all three of these. And if for any reason or actually, let me show you. So what would happen is these people would end up in a master inbox. So I'll go into our master inbox here real quick. So if we got any leads, they would show up here in our client's view or just in your inbox view if you're creating this for your agency or for your company. Now, you'll be able to mark these guys. As you can see, we have like a few leads here now already. You'd be able to mark these guys as like not interested or meeting request or do not contact or interested. So, as you can see, like there's some variabilities here. And what's really nice about doing that marking is this is if you go into your campaign, we're going to click edit. We're going to go back to this little gear icon. Um, you can do webhooks based off of a few things. So one, and I'm not going to do this on this video, this will be a separate video, but you can set a webhook that will send a Slack message to potentially maybe like a client's Slack channel or just like your channel that says, "Hey, we got a reply from a lead." That way, to come in here and actually manage that person in the master inbox. That's number one. Um, what you could also do though, from a really like long-term standpoints or from a subsequent standpoint, I guess I should say, is to do this. Basically, you can handle and auto handle people that are marked as out of office or not interested or even interested. So what I do in a lot of our circumstances, which I'll show you an example of this, is when we're in cybersecurity, go into subsequence. We have three subsequences. Um, One is responds once, but then ghosts after the loom. So this happens for people that are marked as interested, and we do that from an internal standpoint. We mark them as interested after we send them the loom. and we say, hey, here's your Loom. Let us know if you'd like to like book time with us later this week. We have openings like X day, whatever. We'll send that. And we have this subsequence that says, hey, if they haven't responded to if they were marked as interested and they haven't responded in 7 days, send this email following up, which is basically just following up to the same email sequence that says, hey, just wanted to check, did you get a chance to watch the Loom? That way they've already responded, and normally, in most circumstances, they would be removed from that sequence. But with this subsequence, we're able to then follow up with them again automatically. I don't have to keep track of all the leads. As long as we tag them right when we send the Loom, then I know that a week from now, if they haven't responded, they will get another email. So that's how this works. And then we do a not interested, like probing about thoughts on the offer. Um, which basically, if people say like, "Hey, I'm not interested right now," we like to ask like, "Why?" We're like, "Hey, like completely understand. We're trying to make this offer work. I'm trying to bring a lot of value. What would we need to do in order for you to say yes, or what would we need to improve in this offer so that you would be interested?" Something like that, right? So we'll say that just because it might as well. If they've already responded, we know that they're a real account. We also validate their emails. We know they're real accounts, and getting feedback is really important. So that would be our second subsequence. And then our third subsequence is just like, hey, if they don't respond to literally any of our emails, all three of them, wait like 3 months and then add them to another sequence. And that's what we do. So anyway, with that being said, let's check on our clay table real quick just to make sure. Okay, so these all have been updated. So I'll just go back through real quick and show you the updated. Just have to update the companies. So we would come back in here, change this because that's no longer what we're using anymore. And we're going to say formatted company name. It actually might be just company actually because we changed it already. So let's hit save changes real quick and then go to final review just to confirm. Let's go to like this guy again. Dude, it still didn't work. Okay. Well, I'll have to fix this, but basically when we changed this, I want to make sure that this actually went through. Edit column. Company name is formatted company name. And then when we looked at formatted company name, this is what it said. Okay. Strange. Okay, well, let me give this a quick little like refresh and see if that works because maybe it just needed refreshed. We'll hit edit, go back into sequence, make sure this is still fine. Which I think it is. Okay, well, I do not. What just happened? Okay, we're gonna add this. Okay, so company name, boom, remove the space, boom, hit save and changes. Great. Let's go back into final review. Please work. Oh, okay, well, I will mess with this, right? For some reason, it worked here, right? Oh, I see. I see why. It worked here, but it didn't work here. And the reason why is I changed to this one, not this one. So what I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna do this on the video, but I'm gonna go back through and edit those. But at this point, you're pretty much ready to go. All you need to do is click schedule campaign. Obviously, I advise you to set up those webhooks. Like I said, check out our next YouTube video to basically walk through how to set up a webhook here. But for all intents and purposes, we are done with this video. So if you found this video enjoyable or useful, please let me know by leaving a comment down below. If you want to see more videos like these and how we're doing outbound for our marketing agency and for our clients, let me know. I'd like to factor these into our inbound led outbound sequences and services at Optimize Your Marketing. So we kind of add these as add-ons to a lot of the services that we already provide, which are mostly paid media services, PPC, and social media ad campaigns. But these help just bring in more bookings and help follow up with leads that visit the website. And we grab them with our website de-anonymization software, which again will be another series on our YouTube channel. So if you found this useful, be sure to subscribe. There'll be more content coming, and we'll talk soon. Thanks.